Oh, fucking brain freeze. Oh, don't you hate that shit?
Oh my god, babies have more space in the uterus.
If you're wondering, I'm doing just fine. Brain freezes. Yeah, they suck. Alright guys, so this is a Friday the 13th tier list. This is my second tier list I did my very first one a week ago with Predator. That was really cool. I actually really enjoyed making a tier list for you guys. Let's get this started off with a tier list. If you're not familiar with what a tier list is, it's a different way of ranking movies, because when you rank movies from like worst to best, sometimes people when like, oh, that third and fourth place, you know, why? Because when you see third and fourth place, you think there's a big gap between them, and sometimes there's not a gap at all. You know, third and fourth place might be just right next to each other, like identical twins, almost. So with the tier list, you can just look at it from different angles, like a 3D point of view and a 2D point of view. It makes sense. So I like to show you this, because with Predator, when I did a Predator ranking, a lot of people were just not happy with it. But when I did a tier list, it made more sense. So hopefully I can do this with the Friday the 13th franchise.
You stopped off for ice cream.
When the fuck did we get ice cream?
I'm going to go through the colors of the tier list so you're familiar with it. I do it differently. Cody Leach, he does tier lists. He's pretty much the king of tier lists in horror movies, in my opinion. So go to his channels, Cody Leach. Great guy. He knows the shit. I absolutely love Cody Leach. I do not know him personally, but he does a segment of tier lists, and a lot of other people do tier lists. So it's not like I'm stealing his thing, but I'm not doing what he's doing. The only thing I do similar to Cody Leach is I just go like how the movies were released, and I just go that direction. Everything else is going to be different, and the colors are even different. So with the top of my is yellow. That's your classic top of the mountain, no brainer, just great movie. Green, that's your solid as fuck. That's near the top of the mountain, near the top of the franchise. Just really great movie overall.
This is it, Jennifer. Your big break in TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Blue is enjoyable, rewatchable factor. Something that you're going to rewatch all the time, but it's not the greatest, but it's not bad either. It's just right in the middle. It's just a good popcorn movie. Red is when they mostly got all wrong, but they got a few things right. They got some things right where it's like, okay, yeah, that's a bad movie, but I liked this scene and I liked that moment. That's what red is. Now black, that's what I call dead fuck.
It says you're a dead fuck. What? A dead fuck?
I've not had a black yet, and that was a little bit spoiler for the Predator franchise, but might get one for this, and that is just, I want nothing to do with this movie at all. I only watched it because I have to do it because of franchise ranking or franchise tier list, for example, what I'm doing right now. But black is one of those movies where I just don't want nothing to do with it no more, and there's a million things why, and there's really nothing they got right. So those are all the colors, so we're familiar with it. Pretty simple, pretty easy, right? Like I said, I'm gonna go from the year they were released all the way down to the current one, which was, you know, your remake in 2009. We are gonna start off with your 1980 very first Friday the 13th movie.
Get out of here, man. I got to warn you. You're doomed to stay. Go. Go.
This was directed by Sean Cunningham, and of course, with this being the first movie and just the money it's made after this movie, with the way the movie is formatted, like Tom Savini, the kills. Friday the 13th is known for the kills, the location setting, and of course, not really Jason yet, but that was the main theme. You had the setting, the location, and the type of killing down. The way Tom Savini just came up with all that stuff, really, in my opinion, is the biggest reason why Friday the 13th made a huge leap compared to any other movie. And then, of course, you have the soundtrack, Harry Manufini. I still probably fucked that name up. I'm sorry, Harry. His music really did help with that cha-cha-cha, kill, 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 ma, ma, ma. That shit. So that was really cool. It was also a nice red herring whodunit So after this movie, they really, a lot of movies try to replicate this movie. Some obviously did with the Halloween. I mean, that Friday the 13th itself, they were a ripoff of Halloween, so to speak. They even bring it up. It's no brainer. But they just changed everything else so it's not obviously a copycat. But it was the red herring was what a lot of other B horror movies would do after this. Because in Halloween, you knew the person, what they look like. In Friday the 13th, you didn't know what the person looked like. So that was the difference with that. And I think that's what set that movie apart. So, of course, I'm going to give this a yellow color for a classic. It might not be the best of the franchise. If you want, I do have a franchise rankings, if you want to check it out. But with it being a classic and what it's developed, it's definitely a yellow. There's no question about it. So your 1980 is definitely a yellow. Your classic.
But I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason. His body was never recovered from the lake after he drowned. And if you listen to the old-timers in town, they'll tell you he's still out there. Some sort of demented creature. Surviving in the wilderness. Full grown by now.
1982, we get part 2, directed by Steve Miner. Steve Miner, you might think of who is Steve Miner? Why does that sound familiar? Halloween H2O, Lake Placid. He directed those movies. I actually enjoy those movies. I mean, H2O just because it's more of a nostalgia feel. But anyway, that's Halloween stuff. Friday 13, part 2. What makes this movie? Well, you get Jason, of course. Of course, you don't get the hockey mask yet, but you're developing Jason, adult Jason. And it's a good direction. I mean, this is what really took off, the franchise to being what it was. So this movie, in my opinion, is definitely rewatchable. It's definitely enjoyable from start to finish, but it's not solid as fuck. It's not one of those movies that is just, wow, that is the Friday 13 movie. If I had like 3 Friday 13 movies I want to watch to get that Friday 13 vibe, I'm not going to get part 2. I'm not. But I'm going to enjoy it. It's definitely rewatchable. It has your Friday 13 kills, even though you don't have your Tom Savini. But again, we get the adult Jason back. So I definitely give this a blue color for part 2 for being enjoyable and really not rewatchable. Yeah. Part 3 will happen next year, 1982, also directed by Steve Miner. And don't forget, Steve Miner was also part of the first movie. He wasn't director, obviously, but he was, he was leading up to be the director, almost like a second director, so to speak. I would have to dig more into it, see what his actual official title was. But yes, he directed part 3. So Steve Miner is the third movie. Steve Miner's directed 2 of them now. He was part of the first one, so he's really got a good grasp of this franchise. And the way this movie ends with Jason finally getting his mask, getting the kills they are. But I love the characters. Really good. You got good eye candies too. The women are attractive. Some of the men are too. So the casting, the young blood, it's solid. It's a very enjoyable, watchable movie. So just like part 2, I'm giving this a blue color for tier list. It's almost a green. It really was almost a green, but it's just not quite there yet. But still, it's a decently enjoyable Friday 13 movie. So I'm giving it a blue.
Ted! Ted! Hey, Ted, where the hell's Corkscrew?
Woo, 1984, the final chapter. This, I will say personally, is my favorite Friday 13 movie of all time. I'm not ranking, I'm just saying personally it's my favorite. I just fucking love this movie. You have the best young blood cast, the hottest eye candy, Samantha.
I know you're out there, Polly.
The things I could do to Samantha in 5 minutes. Oh, if she was my... Oh. Woo. She's like a Thanksgiving dinner. I just don't know where to start. You have one of the best Jasons, like looking Jason, one of the best actors, you know, Ted White. You actually get the Tommy Jarvis story plot into it. Camp Crystal Lake actually looks good because in part 3 the lake sucks ass. It's literally like a moat. It's a pond. It's pathetic. If you watch the ending of part 3 when they do that jump scare of, you know, Pamela Voorhees coming out of the water, and it's garbage. Garbage. So they finally got that right. You got someone that actually like fights back Jason man to man in the basement with Rob. That was pretty cool. Even though the story timeline is messed up because Rob's sister technically died like the day before, like 2 days before. But it was also cool getting a continuation from part 3 into part 4. How they start off the movie, they go into the, like, you know, they find Jason with the axe, and then they take him down to the morgue. That was pretty cool. But this movie, like even the Jarvis house, I can just party in that house so much. The cast, the Youngblood cast, to scroll back to them again, they're so cool. I would love to party with them just because that's how cool and invested those characters are compared to any other Youngblood cast. I can hang out with them all day. That's how cool they are. I mean, you got Kristen Glovin cracks me up, dude. His fucking dance. Dude, I crack up every time seeing that. So this movie is getting a yellow in my tier list. It is easily getting a yellow, and not for the classic, but in my opinion, it's top of the mountain, the best of the franchise. That's fucking good. It's, if you had one Friday the 13th movie to pick to go live on an island to watch for one whole year, you got one to pick. I'm taking this movie 10 out of 10. I'm sorry. I love this fucking movie so much.
I'm making your dinner, Junior! You hearing me, fella?
All right, we're going to be talking about part 5. Yeah, the one that came out in 1985, and this one's a hot topic. This one's either you love or hate it. For me, personally, this was my very first Friday the 13th movie I ever had, ever. I'm around VHS. We had it recorded, and it was a tape, masking tape saying Friday the 13th part 5. And I was just like, what is this? So, yeah, it's a bad way to get into this franchise, but because it just confused me the whole time. Because I'm like, is Jason, like, this? Is this Jason? You know? But I was also like 5, 6, 7, so I quickly figured out who was Jason. But this movie, in my opinion, gives a really good 80s slasher vibe. It really does. You don't have Jason, but this isn't a Halloween 3, of course, because Halloween 3, you don't have flashbacks of seeing Michael. So in this movie, you actually get to see flashbacks of Jason, and you can tell the difference with the red color on the mask compared to blue color in the mask. When you see that red color in the mask, he just looks good. I mean, I'm not saying that's the real Jason, but you actually get to see Jason. And then of course, you see the imposter Jason throughout the movie. He kills like Jason. So we get the Friday 13 kills. You get the boobs. You get the drugs. It gives you that vibe. It gives you that setting. Yeah, the story's fucking garbage. You don't have Jason. That does suck at the end of the day. And it's like, we did this after, you know, one of the best movies. Yeah, it's just a cash grab. I get it. But I'm not going to dog on it. No. I can watch this movie and enjoy it. Because I know what it is going into it. I'm not going to be disappointed every time. Like, oh, I'm so like, how can you be disappointed? You know what the fucking movie is. You know what it is when you're going into it. Especially now. So if you don't like it, don't fucking watch it. I enjoy it. I could watch it because I know I'm getting into it. If I want that vibe, you know, like, I would watch American Horror Story, that 1984, I believe. It gives you that vibe. And it's just like, I just want to get back to that vibe, back to the air. It feels good, like, to feel that. So I enjoy that. I would love to someone do a deep fake movie one day with this and actually put in, like, Jason. That'd be really cool. People out there that do deep fakes, do it. I have no money to give you, but maybe a GoFundMe? I don't know. But
And anyway, I got 2 chocolate bars, see? Don't tell the girls.
But the real question is, what color does this get? In my opinion, I'm going to give it a blue. I am. But barely. But barely. It should be a red. I really did contemplate between the red and blue fence. I really did. But at the end of the day, I enjoy it and I can watch it. If you like, hey, want to go watch part 5? You're like, yeah, you know what? It's been a couple months. Let's go watch it. See? That just showed me right there. It's enjoyable and rewatchable.
Oh, my God.
They say he died as a boy, but he keeps coming back. You have seen him and lived. Some have even tried to stop him. No one can.
1986, Part 6. Man, they're coming out with a lot of movies in the 80s. They came out with 8 movies in the 80s. It was crazy. And this is 1986, and we're already up to the 6th movie. That's just crazy. That is really crazy. Okay, back to the topic. I personally love this fucking movie. Seriously, it's almost up there with Part 4. If you want a Friday the 13th movie, this delivers. This fucking delivers. This has one of the greatest Jasons. CJ Graham, he plays Jason. Most of it, because there was another guy, I think it was Green, Carl Green. I could be completely wrong. But he's the one that does the paintball scene. He's all fatty and stuff. When they shoot him, you can just tell the difference. But CJ Graham, he finished out the movie. He's in so many conventions. I cannot wait to meet him one day. Solid as fuck. One of my favorite actors to play Jason. He looked so good. And then you got Tom Matthews that plays the Tommy Jarvis character for the 3rd time. This is the 3rd movie with a 3 different Tommy Jarvis actor. My opinion, this is the best Tommy Jarvis of the 3. I really do. Corey Feldman is more of an iconic young kid, but if I had one Tommy Jarvis to have in my Friday the 13th movie, I'm having the Part 6 Tommy Jarvis. I like that. I like the actor, and I like how he's more of an adult. He's like taking control of the situation. This movie was kind of like, the woman that cried wolf. They don't believe him. Especially they don't believe him as sheriff. And the sheriff, Garrett? Yeah, Garrett. One of my favorite sheriffs of the franchise. He reminds me of Ben Meeker from the Halloween franchise. And mostly 4, he was a little bit in 5. He had just like one scene pretty much, but he reminds me of Ben Meeker, Sheriff Meeker from Halloween 4. He's the man behind the mask. This movie has some of the sickest fucking kills with, Sheriff getting his back broke, someone's getting their head squished, this girl just, her blood's going everywhere in the rooms, and you have children. First time actually having children at a camp. You're at a great camp. Also, it looks fantastic. You definitely widescreen, you see it all. You got your cabin's great lake. The final girl, she was great also. She was tough, she was funny, and I'm jealous that Tommy guys put his head in her lap during that car chase, because I want to see all those enchiladas.
Him road, I could lose him. Stay down.
Whatever you say.
At the end of the day, in my opinion, this movie is a green tier list. It is, yes, solid as fuck, and is near the top of the franchise. I think it's solid as fuck for a Friday the 13th movie. It delivers on a lot of what you want for a Friday the 13th movie. I absolutely enjoy this movie very much.
Don't go out there!
Fuck you. No, fuck you both.
All right, Part 7, The New Blood, that came out, well, they actually had a year off, and they went to 1988, so they took a year break. Doesn't happen often for a Friday the 13th movie, but you gotta get burnt out doing a movie each year. And because they did 1980, 81, 82, 84, 85, 86. Yeah, so chill out. So this movie came out in 1988. And this is kind of when it starts to go downhill. This still is a pretty decently Friday 13 movie. It's really after this is when it really starts to take off. But this is kind of the trend, the tick going down. But it's still level for a little bit. And what I mean by that is, well, you get Kane Hodder, and he looks great. This is really the supernatural Jason. This is because he is drowned in the water for for years, and this psychic girl Tina, she's like Carrie. She resurrects him out of the water, and you just, when he's walking out, you just see his spine. You're like, all right, clearly this motherfucker is supernatural. I mean, honestly, up to this point, it was pretty obvious he was leading up to supernatural, but this really just concrete. Like, there's no question about it. And this just takes Jason to a whole new level. But what I don't like about this movie is the young blood cast. The young blood cast just is not endurable at all. They're forgettable. When I watched this the other day, I forgot about some people. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about you. I even forgot about the bitch dying. Like that blonde haired chick, when she gets drowned, she gets pulled down in the lake. I totally forgot about that. That's just how forgettable that shit is. But there's some cool scenes, some cool deaths. That one is one of my favorites of all time, is when Dr. Cruz gets that long, like, weed whacker saw. And Kane Hodder said that they just made that. Like, that was just, is not invented. It's just, but it's so cool. So cool. I wish they would have done so much more scary shit with that. But at the end of the day, it's just, it's barely hanging on for a blue. I'm going to give it a blue. Just barely. It's like part 5, but I do enjoy it, most of it, and I get through it. I do. Because it's definitely rewatchable all the way through, but it's just like, man, it's barely hanging on for a blue, in my opinion. But it has enough parts to it that, okay, it's endurable, but I can't watch it that much.
You a dead meat slime bag.
Woo! All right, like I said, we're about to go downhill the next few movies, so bear with me. 1989, Jason Takes Manhattan is your 8th movie. And the final movie of the 80s. You had 8 movies in 10 years in the 1980s from Friday the 13th. They just fucking, they put their foot down on that fucking pedal, and they took all that money. And this is when they should have put the foot on the brake and not the gas, because this fucking movie, garbage, my god. The only thing I have something to is because this was I don't know if it's my first, but I remember very vividly having this DVD case, and I was so proud to have it. It was so cool. But the market was like New York, and you get 10% of that in this movie. It's like the very fucking end. I get why, because the budget, you do have some Times Square shots, so that is impressive. But it's like, we're in a sewage tunnel at the end of the movie with some fucking young Jason Acid. And Rainey, the final girl, she met Jason, like, in the lake when he was, like, pulling down. What the fuck? And then we're on a cruise ship from a lake going to New York Harbor. And the kids and students just disappear on the boat. Oh, and the mask is like Jason been smoking cigarettes in a fucking room, and it just turns it yellow. I get you're supposed to like deteriorate it because it's underwater, but don't make a fucking mask yellow. What is on my shirt? But yeah, what the fuck are we doing? This gets a red. It's so close from being a black. It was so close. And what red is, it's mostly all wrong, but they got a few things right. And the few things right was, like I said, when they actually were in New York City, and he kicks that like radio, those guys' radios, and that big scene, And there are some cool kills. When that boxer gets his fucking head bounced off, that was pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. But most of this movie just... What the fuck? You're so close from being blacklisted, dude. Well, I guess the blacklist heard me, because the next one is your 1993 Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Yes, black. Boom. Blacklist, baby. Oh, finally get something that goes in the blacklist. Oh, man, this movie, fuck. Yeah, they might got one or two things right, but you ain't gonna go in the red tier list, my man. And what I think you might have got right was the opening scene with the way Jason looks and the FBI going after him, but then you blow him up. And then the whole in-between movie, what the fuck are we doing with going from body to body to body, adding family into this movie when it's the fucking 9th movie and you finally add a whole family that's been living in that town or nearby. And then you're going, one scene you have this fucking Jason, whatever you want to call the thing, goes into the chick's vagina and it like births fucking Jason. It's just like, But he does look decently cool at the end in the beginning. I do give him that. And the fact that you lead at the very end with, you know, Freddy coming out and getting Jason's mask, that was really the highlight of the movie. Your highlight of the fucking movie was the last 5 seconds. And the fact that Kane Hodder wore the glove of Freddy. So he technically was Freddy. But that was really the highlight of the moment. And then just seeing Jason, but then all that shit, having Jason getting pulled down. Oh my God. I don't know when I'll ever watch this movie again. Maybe a franchise ranking. But I might have to skip over it. Because you're a fucking blacklist.
Guys! It's okay, he just wanted his machete back!
Alright, Jason X. We're going to fucking space. Why are we going to space? With a slasher. Come on, guys. Like, learn from Leprechaun, for example. In my opinion, when a horror franchise goes to space, that means they don't know what to do. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to do, but they don't want to sit on it. They just want to make money. They don't know what to do. And even the writer, he's like, yo, let's just go to space. And like, all right, fuck it, let's go to space. Because what they're doing right now at this time is New Line Cinema, you know, they have the rights for Freddy and Jason, but they can't come up with the fucking script. If you all know the Freddy vs. Jason, the script, it was in development hell for a long time. It was like $6 to $8 million in just writing scripts that was never used. So in that time, they wanted some more money. So they threw out Jason fucking X. The beginning part was cool until you froze him and then you sent him to fucking space. If you kept to the beginning part with Jason being tested by the government, like, why aren't you dying? Then he breaks free. Fuck yeah. And he actually looked good. I actually liked him. Like, it wasn't the greatest Jason, but he wasn't bad at all. I enjoyed that Jason. The Uber Jason, that's a love or hate. Yeah, he looks cool. He's all badass and shit, but it's like, let's be realistic, guys. Come on. This is a fucking slasher, and now he's in space, half fucking RoboCop. What the like? Yeah, you look cool. I get that. That's sweet. You had some cool kills, great action, but why are we doing this? God damn it! I get why people enjoy it. It's some good action, some cool kills. He looks decently alright, but at the end of the day, it's like, this is not what I want for a Friday 13 movie. This is not what I want. I want my Jason with this. I want him to look the way he should be looking. I want him where he should be at. Not in space. Get me the fuck out of space. I cannot stand space when it comes to horror movies. No, man. That's more of a sci-fi horror. Not horror. That's more of a, like I said, sci-fi. Like if you think of the movie Life. That was fucking scary. That was great. Space movie. Keep it at that. Aliens. Keep it like that's a sci-fi horror. That's not a horror movie. That's a sci-fi horror movie. Keep Jason out of fucking space. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna give it a red. It's not close to black at all. But it's almost a blue. It's almost enjoyable, almost rewatchable, but I'm going to give it a red. Like I said, this whole space thing really fucking killed it. Because they had some things right in this movie, but mostly all wrong. I'm sorry. A lot of people love this movie, and I respect that. But me personally, when it comes to space stuff, I just get the fuck out of here.
Sworn to secrecy, by New Line Cinema here, but I'll say this is my pat thing. Freddy takes a licking, but he keeps on clicking. All right.
He holds up, let me tell you. He takes a good beating, but so does Jason.
2003, I was 13 years old when Freddy vs. Jason finally reached theaters. They finally got a grasp of, a decently good script in their opinion. And yeah, I think the script was just, what is on my goddamn thing right here? Yeah, in my opinion, that script was not. You had all this time, all this money, and you come up with this story. Like, I give you credit, guys. You actually got Freddy and Jason on screen, but you got Robert Englund as Robert Englund. Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger. But you did not bring back Kane Hodder. What the fuck are we doing, guys? You have we got Freddy and Jason. You don't get Kane Hodder and Robert Englund? And you get a fucking outside director, Ronnie Yu from Hong Kong? Yeah, he directed Bride of Chucky, but in a comedian way. Like, come on. This guy, I've never seen a Friday the 13th movie before. He's never seen a Nightmare on Elm Street movie before he directed this shit. Yeah, he might have did his research after he got the gig. No. We need someone that knows what the fuck they're doing, someone that has passion for it and wants to take it serious. Bring back the main guys. Bring back Wes Craven. Bring back Sean Cunningham. Tom Savini. The people that know their fucking shit. Nope. We bring some outside dude that wants to poke fun, have fun. He loves WWE. My God, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? With that being said, they have a few things right. I just had to get off my chest. Sorry, it just still rosts me, dude. I cannot believe it. But the main thing is we actually do get Freddy and Jason back. Freddy, for a quick moment, I'll talk about Freddy. They did a fucking home run, in my opinion. I think they did Freddy really, 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 really good. But on the Jason side, the way he looks, I'm not blaming the actor. Ken, he's a good actor. But the makeup, no. He's all black and dirt. The mask looked rubbery. No. Not a fan of the way Jason looks. Not a fan of the way Jason, just his movement. It's not a fan of it. And yeah, you might blame the actor on the movement part. But if you have the right costume, the right sound, it's a sound editing, because he's not making those noises that you hear on screen when he's walking. But when they add all the sound effects to it, they make him have a walk. I didn't like the way he walked in this movie at all. He did have a bomb-ass ending, though. The ending is what saved the fucking movie. The actors, you actually had some pretty good acting. Like, it's not the actors' fault the screenwriting really did suck. But I enjoy the actors. I liked who they did pick. Yeah, the final girl, she didn't really turn out to be like a home run, but she ain't bad at all. No, I enjoy that. But like when you're in the whole mental hospital institution, get that out of the fucking window. I don't want anything that had to do with that institution. I wish they would have kept all that out. But I like the Hypnocell pills because, in Nightmare 3, they bring up that. So it's actually really smart. I do like that. I mean, the writers, they do know this stuff. They got a lot of Friday 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street things correct. But it was just like the dialogue, the jokes, the character development. It was just, that's where it really struggled. And how you got them on screen together. Like, Freddy just woke up Jason from the dead. Like, hey, go kill for me. Go walk 2 miles, start killing for me. It's like, I don't know about that. But like I said, the ending was what saved it with, their final showdown. That was pretty cool. I do give them that. But overall, I'm going to give it a blue, tier list. I'm going to give it a blue. Just because it's enjoyable for the fact that I enjoy seeing Freddy and Jason on screen. And I don't think we will ever see that again. Not for a long fucking time. Why? Because we haven't had a Friday the 13th movie since 2009 and a Nightmare on Elm Street movie since 2010. I'm saying this is very hard just to get one of those movies up and running, let alone both of them running together, let alone running together and coming back and doing a crossover. It's going to be a long time. So with that being said, they get a blue tier list because they actually got it. They got it right. Last one on the motherfucking list, like I just talked about, your 2009 movie, that is your remake, which was Platinum Dunes. And Platinum Dunes, which is Michael Bay, Andrew Form, and Brad Fuller, those are the main producers. They did the horror remakes, like your Texas Chainsaw in 2003, 2006, the remake and the prequel to the remake. That was pretty cool. They also did the Nightmare on Elm Street remake and a few other ones. I think it was MV Horrorville remake and couple other ones. Anyway, this is a hot debate. This is kind of like 5 in my opinion. You love or you hate this movie. A lot of people do not a lot of people, but like I said, you either love or hate this movie, and I fucking love this movie. I eat this up every time I watch this movie. Yeah, there's some obvious like, yeah, this 100% needs to change, 100%. But this whole movie is so underrated. So underrated, it blows my fucking mind. How a lot of people, like I said, not a lot, but some people dog on this movie so much. Okay, let's start with Jason. Jason looks fucking amazing. The actor, Derek Mears, is perfect. He is one of the scariest Friday 13 Jason, just scariest shit ever. The mask. Well, you get young Jason as a boy. You get Jason with the bag, and you get Jason with the mask, and you get Jason without the mask. The way Jason runs, like he does in part, 2, 3, and 4, he runs. He's not just I'm gonna walk. No. He fucking runs. And the opening 23 minutes, that was brilliant in my opinion. They really set up a character development for Whitney, but mostly for Jason. They set up the legend because that 24 minutes is what brings people that don't know what Friday 13 is, they never seen a movie before, it brings them together. So after that 23 minutes, everyone is on page. If you've seen every single minute of Friday 13 movie or you've seen none, it brings them all together. But I love that fucking 23 minutes. That group of casting, I could have watched the whole movie. So what makes this movie also stand out? I love the way it looks. The cinematography, it was sharp. The location was fucking brilliant. You got big lake, huge cabin, the best cabin since the Tommy Jarvis house in Final Chapter. Different soundtrack. Harry Muffini is not in this. So you have a whole different vibe. And I love the soundtrack in this movie. The humor. Funny, man. I haven't laughed this hard since the Final Chapter. The humor in this is great. You have some of the great eye candies, but that was also some of the bad part. Like the blonde chick that's topless and she's skiing, and then her blonde little boy toy. Like those two characters, their deaths, in my opinion, was just faceless. It was garbage. Because when they died, I'm like, I didn't care for them. I didn't give a fuck. Yeah, you got some boobs, whatever. But this really gives you the Friday 13 vibe. You want your ass and titties. You got your cussing. You got your Jason vibe. You got some sweet kills. Sweet, innovative kills you never seen before. Yeah, I love this. The story was a great, simple story of a brother finding a sister. So it's easy to follow. It really was. I'm really surprised this movie... I know why it didn't come with a sequel. That's a whole new story. But I'm really surprised why a lot of people really hate on this movie. I really am surprised. But I enjoyed this movie a lot. And for that, I'm giving it a green. It's as solid as fuck and is near the top of the franchise rankings. I absolutely enjoy this movie a lot. And for that, I give it a green. I think it's just brilliant. And it sucks we haven't had movies since. But at least we, left on a good note with the remake And the director, Marcus Nispel, he directed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake. So it's just, it makes sense, man, because that was one of the greatest remakes of all remakes. That's on a topic of, is that better than the original? And that's really crazy. This movie is also a topic of, if the remake better than the original, I will be doing a video and you're going to want to watch that, trust me, because it would be a hot debate. But that's it, guys. That's my tier list for Friday 13, and I'm curious, what do you guys think about your tier list? I'm curious to see what your tier list is. I want to know why. I want to hear from you guys, so let me know what you guys think, and this was fun. Again, I did a Predator tier list. It's Friday 13. Next one will be Child's Play, be Chucky. Reason why, because Child's Play comes out, October 5th, season 2, so I'll be doing some few things for that. Lord of the Rings, yeah, I gotta do that. And then, of course, Halloween. Halloween for October, that month of October, guys, it's gonna be mostly Halloween stuff. I've been saving all my Halloween stuff for October. Woo. Yeah, I'll be doing a few other things too. Scream, if you're wondering, that's coming out in March with Scream 6. I'll be doing all that stuff. And Nightmare on Elm Street, I think I got that saved for around January. So I got really nothing going on then. So I got plenty of time for that guy. Friday 13, I've been pushing out a lot of content. I love Friday 13. Second favorite franchise, but that is it. I'm done rambling. Whew, I'm going to go take a shower. Yeah, it's a long day. All right, sexy monkeys, thanks for watching, and hope you all have a good day.